Okay, basically, this is where it all started here. The source of water, as you can see, is fairly well contaminated. And look, if you take a look, you can see where there's big discoloration in the water. This water source is shared by cattle, sheep, and goats. And as you can imagine, when they come, they do their feces in the water itself. And because there is no other water source in the whole area, people resort to taking this water home for doing their cooking and the cleaning of the houses itself. It's not very, what you call it, it's not very appealing to any of us who come from Ireland to come and see a source of water like this and to know it's the only water source in the whole area. So just to give you an idea, this is only one of many places, but just to give you an idea of what the people have to endure on a daily basis here. It's quite tough life for them. I was asked to locate a water source for the people here, and as you can see, the terrain is quite rocky. A very challenging place to walk, and it was a bit of a challenge. There's no doubt about it. But look, we done the best we could. We sussed out the area, and we'll take a walk on down to the source to give you an idea of what we actually done. But this is some of the. This is actually a riverbed, for the want of a better word. But look, here we go. So we just arrived here now at the moment. As you can see, there's a lot of, this is places where people come to get water, and look, just even you look at the ground itself, there's cattle, sheep and goats, everything comes here. They do their feces on the ground. It's not a very clean environment, as we know back home in Ireland. Look, it is a challenge, there's no doubt about it, but what you have then is people sharing this water with cattle, sheep and goats. You've also got people that will wash their clothes and do everything they have to do. People actually bathe in the same water, and the water itself is used, for bringing home to their house, and use it for cooking and drinking and whatever they want, So it's quite a challenge. It's not an easy job being out here, and sometimes people think that you're some kind of a god because you're a white man, but you know what? There's a lot of hard work goes into trying find out a solution to what you see ahead of you. This is just typical of where people go to source out water, and just see for yourself, Now we'll take a walk down towards the Chim itself. This is seasonal water here. Rains come and it looks as if it's a great source of water, but underneath there lies a lot of contamination, and it actually gets worse when the rains actually come and this whole area fills up with a couple of feet of water itself. The terrain is quite rocky, as you can see, and walking is not easy, I can tell you. There we have our friends the monkeys. Even they come down from the rocks, and they drink the water, and they're not particular what they do in the water either. So this is a serious situation here, and look, we try to come and do what we can to eliminate this suffering for the people, because as a result they get a lot of hospital, a lot of problems, and they attend clinics and hospitals to try and get worms, and they've all sorts of associated health problems with contaminated water. So it's a big problem. like even in the area itself, it's even difficult. It's even difficult to imagine like that people can resort to having to use this source of water. Here's just some of the terrain that I actually walked over. At stages you'd say to yourself, is there a clean source of water that we could use in the area? So I'm basically scouring the area at the moment. But just to give you some idea, like, in scouring the area, like we located a spring, a very good source of water, and we're just on the way down to the spring now at the moment, just to give you some idea. We're actually taking a bit of a shortcut. This is not the normal way I would go. But just to give you an idea of the terrain, it's hard enough for, you want to be some kind of a goat, to be able to maneuver around this place. I'm not as young as I used to be, but anyway, I'm still going anyway. So here we're just actually approaching the Chem. It's been a hell of a task. I have, worked hard on this project along with the whole community. So this is on our survey. We actually located a source of water itself, which was nothing like what you see now at the moment. Here's where we have a cattle trough constructed. But this is basically, so we try and utilise as much of the water itself without wasting any of it, So up what you see ahead is the pumping station. Ishka for Tanzania, and this is what we try to do, water for Tanzania. So we try to make a difference to the lives of the people themselves. The whole area is all fenced off, so we try and keep it secure. No animals, sheep, cattle, goats are allowed in. So just to bring you inside here now and just show you exactly what we have. Here we have the solar panels. This is the main source of electricity in the area. We generate all the power for the submersible water pump, which I will show you now. And because we're so remote, it works very, very successful. Here we have a big tank in the ground with 5,000 litre water storage capacity, and basically within the container itself we have a pump. The water supply itself comes from the spring here. In the beginning it was just a trickle of water in the ground, and we constructed this chamber. This pipe that you see in front of me is a water supply for the community, and basically speaking, the water is actually fed from here to the whole community itself. Not an easy job, I can tell you. A lot of hard work went into this project. I can assure you, I was there from the beginning, and it seemed an impossible task. The water is going along that pipe, and we have secured the whole place here with a fence all around the whole area. So look, we try and maintain the purity of the water itself as much as possible. Not an easy task, I can assure you, but look, results are the results, and I try to do the job and try to leave it the best way that I can, knowing that it's going to carry on supplying clean water to the people and without anyone interfering. So just to let you know, I suppose, what's possible in the area. Out of nothing we have solar, and out of solar we have electricity. It comes in, it powers the pump, which is actually down in this storage tank itself, and from there, basically speaking, the water itself is sucked up and is pumped up to the water tanks above in the hill itself. So just to give you an idea of what we've actually done here. Sometimes it's good, for the people of Ireland to see what actually happens on the ground, and they can be assured I'm definitely on no holiday here, that's for sure. Managing this project has been quite a task, and because all the stuff comes from Marusha, which is about 5.5 hours drive away. It is a task, there's no doubt about it. But look, I'm so delighted with everything so far. I can't say enough about it, but just for people here, we have the source here just ahead of us here at the moment, and there's a pipeline that comes from the source the whole way back into that water storage tank that I'm now going to show you. From there, the water is gathered in the tank, and there's a pump actually inserted into the well itself, which actually draws up the water and pushes it up the hill. So look, it works fantastic. It really is the solution in the rural areas where you have found the water supply, but you don't really know how you're going to get it back to the village because the village is some kilometres away. Well, you're looking at the solution here now at the moment. I am extremely happy with the whole lot, and as I say, it's not easy. So basically from here we're going to take a walk on up to the water tanks, but just to let you know that this water pipe is, as you see, comes on along here, follows the whole way on up to the tanks on the hill itself. We'll take a walk up the way now, and we'll just show you a little bit more of the project. So as not to waste any water, what we have a cattle trough here. Now basically when the water tanks overflow, the water itself is collected in the cattle trough here, and the cattle, sheep and goats come on a daily basis to drink the water itself. So look, water is like gold here. So look, we do our best not to waste any of it. And look, as I say, there's so much you can do, and there's so much that you can't do. So look, it's a hell of a project. So I'm on the way here now at the moment, along the pipeline from the Chem, which is called in English, it means spring. So the pipeline is coming along here, and I'll just show you now the terrain. Terrain we're actually we have to cross over in order to bring the water up to the water tanks itself. All this area here, you see the pipeline in the ground. We have plastic piping underneath the ground in places where we were able to dig. Over the ground you see steel piping here. That is because the ground is so rocky we just can't dig, and it's absolutely impossible. So we try and minimise the cost of the project where we can by digging trenches and putting in plastic piping, and whereby we can't put in any plastic piping, what we do is we put in overground piping, and of course obviously enough it has to be steel piping. So that's just to give you an idea. So it's a long steep journey from here up to where the tanks are above in the hill, but we'll take a walk up along. You see a lot of work went in, like everything you see here, all the cement, stones and all materials have to be all carried, a kilometre, buckets of sand and buckets of cement and water and everything that we needed to make this project a success. Everything was all carried on top of the head, and blocks and you name it. So it gets steeper as we go up along. It just gets steeper and steeper and steeper. Now it was not an easy task putting down these pipes here, because sometimes when you actually reach terrain, you have to bend the pipe, and it's not easy to bend it. We don't have the same facilities here as we have back home. So just to give you an idea how much the whole thing is, whole slope is actually increasing, but up there is the tanks, you know. So here we go again, on up the hill. I'm not as young as I used to be, I want to tell you that as well. You see me walking there, I had a bit of a speed, but it's just because the video is speeded up, you know. But look, there's the tanks anyway, they're up the hill. You can just see the top of the tank there now at the moment. So just to give you some idea of what we have to do and the work that goes into to actually trying to help the people. Desperate place with rocks, absolutely desperate. So look, it is what it is, you know. So we're almost there now at the moment, and here we're approaching the water tank. Now, believe it or not, what we have here now is a platform, and you say, my God, everything was all carried up the hill on head. I have two 10,000 litre water tanks. Ishka for Tanzania, water for Tanzania. So we try to actually honour what we've written down, you know. We want to bring water, but we want to bring clean water for Tanzania. So a lot of work goes on behind the scenes. I suppose I'm responsible for the whole project, basically speaking. The book stops with me. If they don't get water, well then they come looking for me. But anyway, the thing is, just to give you an idea, we have two pipelines here. One of the pipelines is on the way down below to a clinic and to the whole community, and that's the pipeline that's in front of my feet here. We're fairly high up now at the moment, so we might be able to just give you a view of the whole lot, you know. But it's extremely steep down the whole way, but like we could only go down so far with the metal piping, and where we could dig the trenches, we dug the trenches and used the plastic piping to minimise the cost of the project as much as possible. So there you see ahead is the dispensary. We have a collection tank down there as well, but we also have a water supply for the local community as well. We're talking about a population here of 2,300 people. We also have 650 kids in a school. They have no water. I used to see the kids in the morning going one after the other just to draw water from contaminated sources. So it was, you know, as I'm just saying, like, what can I do here, you know? But the pipelines, this pipeline here now goes on down below to the school. So we have a separate supply down to the school. It's what you call a big improvement to what the people knew. Every morning they're getting up, and before classroom starts, they walk kilometres just to get clean water from other sources. So around the whole area here, like, you know, we're talking about a fairly large community. People come from miles and miles away, and especially when they hear there's water and in the area, and I'm trying to do something, you know, they seem to be reassured a bit, you know, that at least we have help at long last. But look, I'm only a human being either, you know, but look, as I say, I give it everything I have to try and make the difference for the time that I'm actually out here. There's a lot of gathering up on money, and you know, try to make sure that the money goes where it's supposed to go. So just to give you some idea of the mammoth tasks that was actually involved in this whole layout here, you know, is certainly is not easy, you know. So it can be challenging to go ahead and you know, when the pressure's down on you to try and find a source of water. Sometimes it can be challenging. People think that, you know, because you're white, you're educated better than us and you know better than us. It doesn't always be the case. Sometimes the man above plays a big part in fact, he plays the biggest part in the whole lot, because somehow I rely on him to try and, you know, show me the way to go, you know. But anyway, it is what it is anyway. So I'll just give you an idea. Pipelines here now at the moment, so I'm going to show you a little bit more of the project itself. The pipeline on the right hand side goes on over towards the school, and the one on the left hand side, now you see it, we're going down a hill here, and it's actually quite steep. This is actually tough terrain. The pipeline just that you see in front of me here, this goes the whole way on down below to the school. We have 658 children there with no water. And look, life is tough in Tanzania, very, very tough. And, you know, to give them a source of clean water, you know, it's just, it's mind blowing, you know what I mean, because it's life changing for them. So just to give you some idea of the terrain, how steep it is steep, I can tell you. Probably about 45 degrees down, and the terrain was extremely rough. Actually, connecting up the pipes, we had to, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. And here are some of the supports we had to put in place to hold the pipes, in line, you know. So just to give you an idea here, so just to let you know what's ahead of us. You have to be very careful going down here because of the terrain itself. One slip and you're gone. Just to give you an idea of the steepness of the hill. There's times I struggle to keep myself upright, that I don't just run away with myself. So we're almost approaching now the football field here now, and to show you more. Okay, this is the first of our DPs here, and just to show you now the water supply coming out of the taps here. This is what it's all about at the end of the day, is producing a clean water supply and a constant water supply for the people themselves. So we're on our way over now to the clinic itself. Here we installed Here we installed a 10,000 litre water tank here, which is supplying water to the dispensary, and the house is here, just the house here at the back of our washroom, toilets, hand basins, you name it. It's all sort of modernised as much as possible. And look, they had no water supply whatsoever. I can assure you, no water supply. And look, the transformation now is just unreal. But look, we couldn't very well put in a water supply for the community and ignore the dispensary. Dispensary is a vital part of the community, because people go there to get treated for health, and you know, they like to have a nice clean environment, and to know that that at least the water they're getting in is pure, you know. So pipelines is coming along here anyway from the water tanks itself, and from the washrooms, the toilets, the hand basins, everything is all there. So the water pipeline is coming along here. We're now approaching the dispensary, and this is the whole dispensary for the whole, a couple of thousand people, and from all over the whole area. So what we have here, this is our water supply, which is actually the main water supply coming into the dispensary itself. So look, we try to cater for everyone that we possibly can. But just to move on further here, the pipeline continues along from the hill, from the tap stand on the way. Now you can just follow me on over here. It's not easy. It's not easy. We've a couple of kilometres of pipe and dug all together. It looks as if I've walked a short distance between one place and another, but it is actually quite long, believe it or not, you know. So we're approaching, where I'm actually walking is underneath is actually where the pipeline is, right? Now here we came into a bit of a problem here. Well, it wasn't a problem too bad anyway. This is actually what's called a corongo. Basically, it's actually about a riverbed, you know. So it's probably about 80 feet wide and probably about 15 foot deep. And we had to bring water over to the far side. So this is probably constructed anyway. So look, we have to come up with ideas as we go along as the public can do, and how we can best supply the people with water. So this itself was a challenge in its own, you know. But look, we actually succeeded. So you know, there's no water there now at the moment because it's the dry season. But when the wet season comes, this place here, it fills up at about 6 or 7 feet of water. So don't be what you call it. Think you know, that this is an easy task. It's not. So look. The concrete columns themselves are what you call it. They're I suppose to protect to give the a bit of security for the piping itself. So if anything comes down river, it can hit against those pillars. But look, there's nothing really in the area. But just in case, you know, something did come down along the water supply, at least, you know. There's no damage can be done to the project itself. So this is even this place here now, as you see now, this is even where people actually come and draw water. They don't, water is water, and they see sometimes you might get a clean water supply some distance away, but the people will come here because it's actually close by, and like you're talking several hours a day walking in just searing heat and carrying 20 litres of water. Hungary, Jim, means congratulations, Jim. But look, sure, anyway, that's what it is anyway, you know. But look, just to give you an idea of the whole lot, you know. So we're going over now towards we have another distribution point here, DP. That's what it's known as, a distribution point. And just to give you some idea. No, before this, all these people from this whole area here would have been cut off completely, because the water gets so deep that they can't even cross over to the dispensary if they wanted to. So look, this is another great source of water in the area itself. Here we have a clean water supply. As you can see, this is what it's all about, you know. And look, we still got finishing touches to go to put in place, you know. So anyway, just to give you some idea. Okay, I'm taking I'm having a bit of a laugh now at the moment, but I mean, okay, it's great. It's great to see the water coming out. It's great to see it of really good quality, and it is as good as anything we have back home. So that's what it's all about, you know. So I'm happy enough, you know. So we're at the stage where we have certainly accomplished a lot, you know, and we need to, you know, to do as much as we possibly can to leave every area as supplied with as much water as we possibly can. Look, it is what it is, and look, I think to go there and just to make it different, like, we can't solve all the problems, but what we certainly can do is, you know, decrease the problems, you know, as much as possible. You know, it is an impossible task to supply everywhere with water. Here what we have is just the local church. This is where the local people go to have mass and or service, or call it what you like. There's a few, but just to let you know that these bricks that you see here on the left hand side, they've all been fabricated and burnt in a kiln. They're going to be used actually to make the local priest's house. So just to give you an idea, these people are quite talented, and sometimes they're sort of they're never really, what you call it, they're underestimated. I'd put it that way. They have a lot of hidden talents that even us white people don't have. So it's just to give you a small idea of the whole lot, it is what it is, and I'm happy so far, So here what we're doing is we're just going back up to the source of water where the tanks are. It's quite steep, as you can see. It just, it can be actually challenging, actually, to maneuver around and to find your footing at times, But, believe it or not, those the tanks above on the hill that you see up there, they were actually carried up the hill as well, And look, it was no easy task. How they done it, I don't know. But they actually carried on up those tanks on up the hill. The two tanks that you see above the platform up there. Manual labour. They had so much power. We don't know where the power comes from, but by Jenny they have power, and it's incredible. I don't know where they get it from. They went up with one tank and came back down, back up with another one, and back down again, and I'm baffled. So as you can see, the further you go up, the steeper it gets, and it just gets incredibly steep. Just look at the rocks. This is where the people carried the tanks across these rocks, and my God, it was such a challenge, So the work is carrying on here at the water tanks that you can see now. This is the pipeline which goes down to the school. So just to give you an idea of the whole complete project, take a walk along the pipeline here now. So one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to fall as you're walking along, that's for sure, because you could get some serious injuries, So here we've came to the end of the pipeline now. We've got plastic piping underneath the ground here because we were able to actually dig the trenches. So I'm actually walking on the pipeline as we speak now at the moment, right? So the terrain can vary. It really can vary. So just ahead, I'm just going to show you now at the moment, right? We have a bit of a depression in a bit of a trench, and of course we put in steel piping there as a means of being able to be able to carry the water across the trench itself, right? So we're continuing along now. I'll just show you now all the rest of it now. We're heading on down towards the school itself. You get lots of walking here every day. That's for sure. In searing temperatures. Good for the feet, good for the heart, but not good for Jim. So we're moving along here now nicely. Just to show you, about to approach the school area now at the moment. So there's kilometres of piping used in the project itself. It just takes so much time to organise everything and get everything done. So here we're approaching now one of the junctions. Down below here we have a DP, which is a distribution point. I'll just show you now. And this is a supply for the 650 kids here. We've got four tap stands here. But just to give you an idea of the whole project, we've clean water supply. Now before this, people were walking kilometres actually to get the water and bring it back home, contaminated water. And look, the needs, whatever is available. You have to make do with whatever you have. But look, now at least we can guarantee what we give to the people is being of very good quality, So it's really not an easy task in any sense of the word. There's a lot of work goes into it. People don't realise how much work goes into it, and the end result is to alleviate the suffering of the people, and to give them some bit of quality of life. Besides the kids coming into school in the morning, and the first thing they have to do is to go and get water. Now they just turn open the taps, and they have clean water, there on a constant basis. So it's really good news all around, so we move on anyway. Going back on up to the main pipeline itself, we're now going to show you which way sort of the pipeline goes. So back down along here. So on the left hand side here we have all the classrooms. Unlike what we have at home, we have a lot of comforts. There's no comforts here. There's just the basics, and look, it's great to be part of the whole thing and just making a difference to people's lives. It takes a bit of time and a bit of effort. Sometimes you'd say to yourself, there must be an easier way to have a life. These are some of the kids, and it's great just to take a bit of time out and just to make a difference, for a couple of months of the year. But look, it's so good, and you get lots of hardship. You get lots of times you say, what the hell is it all about, but when you see the water turned on and the people, drinking clean water, then that's payoff time. So it's all worth it, every bit. So here we're approaching now the last distribution point here, and this is the one now which is the kids can use, or the community can use. We have to finish off we got the basics. We're getting in the water, but we have to finish off the drainage of the whole system yet. But look, Iska for Tanzania, we have certainly made a difference to people's lives, and it's by the generosity of all the people back home in Ireland, who backed me up and gave me support. And it's not my project, because I feel I'm just one person, and there's so many other people involved that didn't get mention at all. Just to show you here, main road ahead of us here, and we had a big deep trench. So what I decided to do was to make some kind of a ramp whereby people could walk in without walking down into the trench itself and back up with 20 litres of water. So they can come and go as they like. They can come in on bicycles or donkeys or whatever they want. It's up to them. But at least there's access provided. But this is, the last DP on the line here at the moment, and we've sussed out basically in conjunction with the leaders of the community where they would best prefer to have the water points, and look, we try and facilitate them where possible. But look, I think at the moment we've catered fairly well for everyone. That's what it's all about, So end of.